Watch out!
Hold on, wait for it. Hey, we're good.
Hey,
we're good.
how
Are
you
you
doing?
ready to go over there?
I'm ready to go.
You know what? It's a tough morning today. Mm-hmm. You know, I came on time.
Yeah.
That's a first
On
for
time
a while.
for what?
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not
Yesterday, you know, you gave me a hard time. Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome
welcome to the sports show.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
It's Mitch and Dimitri. Hold on.
The pleasantry.
I never
I'm
do
sorry.
this. I never do
Are
this.
you attempting?
No. Oh, no, not at all. I don't like that.
No, why don't you do the intro?
You know
Do
what?
the
I'm
handles.
not prepared. I don't know them. I don't know them
It's a no
all.
shit. Just try it.
No. Welcome to the sports show. This is Mitch and Dimitri. Go to the blue screen sports show at sports show podcast. Yeah, just go there. Click on the follow. We're on YouTube. YouTube TV. It's really good. A lot of followers. Could have more.
So, you know, right off the top of my head, you know, was that great? Probably not great, but what I will say is great attempt.
Thanks.
For someone who doesn't do it. I mean,
never
this
do
is
it.
episode 292.
That's right.
That means that I've been doing it for 292 consecutive
Episodes.
pods.
That's right.
Well, with the exception of
Couple
holidays, but
holidays,
for
yeah,
the
whatever.
context here.
-4, let's say.
But it was a great attempt.
Hey.
And it was something that you know, it's like me doing the agenda.
That's right.
You know?
And if if you were to ever do the agenda, we would do nothing.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
just call it
no,
what it is.
you know what? My agenda game when you're gone's not so bad.
I'm not saying
not
it's
great.
bad. It's not that.
But it's me. It's bullet. You write out a novel over there.
if you
but it
want to
works.
do it, it works for me.
No, I'm not
You know what I mean?
criticizing. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's your style.
That's my style.
I'm more of a Cole's note. I need freedom.
And you do.
Just
You have
like
carte
you need the
blanche.
freedom to follow the sports show at Sports Show Podcast, both on the Instagram and the YouTube. Please subscribe to the channels. Get on those apps. You're on them anyways. Listen, Podbean, Spotify, at Sports Show Podcast. It's a blue and white logo like Mitchell said.
Yeah.
Just subscribe. Put the alarm bell. You're there anyway.
Do it.
All those other podcasts that you're listening to, just do it. But you're here because we're back in the studio.
That's right.
I came on time this morning.
Okay, sure.
And no, what are you talking about? 8 o'clock on the nose. On the nose.
On the nose, but we were supposed to be in the studio at 8 a.m.
Oh,
Right.
so 7:45.
That would have been nice.
Well,
which
I
is
didn't
what
know-
you said yesterday.
No,
but I
that's-
mean,
no, that's not what I said.
That's not what you said?
No, I didn't know that.
I think that's what you said.
No. I because what I said was I'm usually coming 10 after 8,
Right.
15 after 8.
Oh, is that what you meant?
That I said those 15 minutes are crucial.
Those are crucial.
So I didn't know. See, this is why communication is huge.
It's big in all relationships, not just with your loved one.
So I get okay. So you know what? Fine. My new commitment is 7:45.
That'd be great. I don't see that ever happening.
Oh, it'll
but
happen.
we'll try it.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh, well, let's give it a try. Listen,
So what I give you a hard time with? What's going on? Now?
I'm calling an audible on the audible that I was going to do. So because the All-Star game is going on in the NHL,
Right.
and we usually start with the NHL, I said to myself, well, let's do some NFL because we're in that bye week. Crazy games happened last week. Let's do a little
yeah.
NFL.
You want to start with the NFL?
I was going to, but then
What about your perusing?
this
I'm
is
a little lost
no, we're going to
here.
do it all. But listen, what I was going to say to you is that the peruse was basically all NHL stuff. So this kind of weird this weird lull in the All-Star activity actually caused a lot of ripples in the NHL world. Let's get started. I was perusing the nets.
You know what? I should have just let you finish. I was interrupting you. It's the morning. I'm still tired.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not.
just
It's terrible.
just follow me. Just
okay.
follow me.
Okay.
All right. So I'm perusing the nets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking at the TV. I'm watching the All-Star selection. I see Bieber's there. I see what's that guy's name? Will Arnett is there, and hey, Calgary's own, the Tate, she's there, and then they have the Michael Bublé on one team, and just by chance as I'm perusing, I see it's his team's turn to make a selection, and he was acting a little weird, and I'm like, this is a guy that sings and croons to millions of people yearly. And I'm like, why is he so weird right now? Why is he acting so weird?
Did you say croons?
Croon. He's a crooner.
He's a crooner?
Crooner.
Is that a thing?
That's a swear to goodness it is. That's what Sinatra was. He was a crooner.
A crooner.
A crooner. It's a word. Check it out.
One who croons.
One who croons.
Okay.
So the presser comes in. They bring him in. And I'm telling you right now, if you weren't a Michael Bublé fan before, you should be now.
Oh, man.
He goes on this tangent. The guy was microdosing. The guy was flipping out.
Apparently macrodosing.
Micro. It's in
it is micro, but his buddy apparently
big time
macrodosed him, not micro. He
guy's
was going
like,
for the micro.
Yeah.
He left with the macro.
Isn't that the truth? And he tells the world, I'm on the shrooms. I saw the chariots of fire. He was just going, dropping F-bombs. This, that, the other. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's the coolest guy I've ever seen.
Yeah, Bublé, listen, normally what you'd say is, hey, here's a sporting event. This is not a good look. There's kids watching, so on and so forth. But I think the Bublé came out way on top here. This was his version of a sex tape, Mitch. This is actually catapulting him into super crooning status. I didn't watch a lot of the selection. I put it on. Quite frankly, I found it a little bit boring.
It was.
And but I remember watching him during that. Like, yeah, they're a little bit off. Like I can't remember who was it Kevin Weeks? I can't remember now.
Yeah, Kevin Weeks was there as well.
But where I'm going is they were doing the selection. Like, you got to pick a goalie. We pick Brock Besser.
Yeah, that's right.
Or whoever it was. Like, but no, you need a goalie, huh? Well, okay, well, who's left, right? And then they had Cam Talbot come. I was watching this exchange. The other thing, too, it's like, listen, I like the idea of the celebrities.
Right.
Big names, that's all great. But, hey, celebrities.
Yeah.
Can you put some effort in? Listen, Tate McRae and Arnett, they were there. They were trying to be funny. They were up. But the Bieber was sitting behind everyone.
Yeah.
Not doing nothing. He's like, oh, is it me? Yeah, high five. Hey, I'm here. Like, you might, like, he looked like a... he looked like a 13-year-old who was forced out to dinner.
He was definitely doing this as a favor to somebody.
Huge favor.
He was like, okay, fine, I'll come. Even though when I ask you guys to come out, we're usually at nightclubs and partying. But I guess I'll just stand here in front of the Toronto faithful and choose a team.
And then the Bublé. I mean...
And you know what's funny? You would think that Bieber and Bublé, like, you know, they're both pretty popular Canadian music stars. You'd think they'd have a little bit more in common. They couldn't be more different.
Oh, jeez. It's so funny. So I told the Swiss Greek yesterday.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about him.
Hey, he's a beauty.
Shout out.
Hey, shout out to the Swiss.
By the way.
Congrats.
Fan of the year 2024.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, he's in the running.
For sure.
He impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
He's quoting show lines, baby.
Hey, I like that. I like what he's doing.
He's a Swiss Greek.
Way to go.
We came up with a great idea.
What's that?
You know, because he's like Michael Bublé's got the bubbly.
Yeah.
The drink.
That's right.
What about a mushroom-flavored microdose drink?
Now he's on to
with
something.
Bublé's name on it.
Great idea. Great idea.
What are we doing here?
You know, and that's the whole thing. And then, okay, so you got that. But as that was happening, earlier in the day, Calgary makes a trade. We got to do it. It's trade alert time. The Calgary Flames make a big trade. It's basically a 5-for-1 special, as I said once, and I'll say it again. I don't know why Edmonton doesn't look into this. I'm telling you. Look, you got Elias Lindholm. He's a guy that we like here in Calgary. When Johnny and Tkachuk were around, this tandem was maybe as good as it got when it came to hockey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calgary says, hey, listen, chances of us signing you to the money you want ain't going to happen. We're going to lose you. We're not going to get anything. We're not falling for this joke again. And they ended up trading him to the number one team in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks. And who comes over? Andrei Kuzmenko, Hunter Brustewicz, Johnny Juro, a 2024 first-round draft pick, and a 2024 fourth-round draft pick. So
I think the fourth is conditional.
It is conditional, correct. So basically a 5-for-1 deal. But this is the best part. He was supposed to represent Calgary in the All-Star game. The trade happened before it started. He's wearing the Canuck blue.
That makes me even happier.
What are your thoughts on the trade real quick?
I think a win-win for both. Like, I actually think Calgary comes out ahead on this one. And follow me. Like, number one, the first-round pick, it's not a first round. Vancouver's going to finish high.
Yeah, seriously.
It's really a second-rounder. But if they get that conditional and it turns into a third-rounder, they get a 2-3. They got some prospects. The biggest thing is when you got a player who's going to be, I believe he's a UFA, Lindholm is at the end of the season,
That's right? Yeah.
So, there's limited spots for him to go, right? And Conroy, you're kind of impressing me as time goes by. I'll be honest with you, Mr. Goody Two Shoes, aw shucks, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the whole, okay, let's get rid of things and let's get rid of them right. Now, sure, did we just give Zadorov and Lindholm to Vancouver? Are we, bolstering another Canadian team? Yeah, sure. But who cares? You got to go to the highest bidder. And apparently Boston was going after him pretty hard.
Mm-hmm, I heard that too.
But look, the reality to me is Vancouver, smart. You're going for broke. Why not? Why not? Get a guy this year, no strings attached. You're deeper at center. I really like a move like this. Like a guy like this,
right?
You don't want to get too high a star power. You just want to get a guy who kind of helps. And their affinity for foreign players is amazing.
It's so true.
They just love their Europeans. But hey, we're European too. We're not to complain.
No.
And Calgary gets some formidable prospects and formidable picks. However they pan out, it's something back. I like it, Mitch.
I like it too. Look, I've always said we are where we are. If we end up making the wild card or somehow make the playoffs, God willing, great. But I don't think anyone's expecting that now. So it's time to sell. And we got more to sell. This is the beauty of it. We got more. We got way more to sell. Lots of teams want all our players, which kind of makes me sad too. I was looking at a picture on the Grams the other day where Lindholm, Giordano, Gaudreau, Tkachuk, you name it, they were on, we're talking, we've lost everybody. We've lost and that was only 4 or 5 years ago?
But
Not even?
You got to think, man. I think we finished first in our division.
At one time, but we just didn't, if we added just a little bit more spice, like we've said for these other superstar teams, maybe we're that team.
We ran into Colorado that year, I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was a year where we were like, okay, we're on fire. But yeah, it is sad. But that's the nature of sports. It's cyclical. It is what it is. I just like that they're pulling shoot, and they're not just trying to keep people for the sake of keeping people. Because as a Calgary fan, I can tell you that for years over years, Mitch, it's always we have this desire to want to just find, here's a big name, let's bring him.
Right. And
then we think they're so much better than what they are. Like, top of my head, I'm thinking guys like Mike Camilleri.
Yeah.
He's available, we got to get him.
Not once, twice.
Guys, relax. Like at one point we should be like, is Fleury still playing?
Yeah, seriously. Oh, dude, we are somehow the worst at that.
He was promoting his book. He got a point in the preseason, and there was a frenzy.
Yeah.
It was a real frenzy.
It's a frenzy.
It's a frenzy.
You're absolutely right.
Get him on the team. No, you guys. No.
Well, speaking of ex-Flames again, and that's he's the one player I couldn't name just a second ago, Sean Monahan. We sent him to Montreal. Montreal kind of revitalizes his life. He's not bad, playing pretty good. And Winnipeg picks him up yesterday for a first rounder, by the way.
Okay.
But I got to be honest. I like the fit in Winnipeg. I think that fits and it makes sense. If that's your fourth round center or fourth line center, not bad, bro.
Listen, it fits.
It fits.
He's that kind of guy. But I got to credit to you, Mr. GM of Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we roll the tape back a bit?
Sure.
Okay. I just, some people, it just works for them. I remember having a conversation with the CD at work. He was like, what makes a good GM? No, really. Like, what does? This.
Yeah.
We gave, and by we, I say the Calgary Flames, if you go back in the deal, did we not give Monahan and the first?
Yes.
And we retained part of his salary.
That's right.
It was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And now Montreal's like, well, we're done with them, so we'll get another. We got to get a first.
Yeah.
And you sit in there and you're like, Calgary, how did you not get the first?
Buddy, I literally thought I read it wrong the other day when I saw what we did years ago. I couldn't remember.
But people are like, well, it was damaged goods. Is he any better now?
He's a little bit better now, but that's the whole point.
Hold on. Is he?
Well, I'll say this. Listen, looking at the Sportsnet and the TSNs and all the other hockey plays, he was actually a pretty coveted guy coming into free agency. A lot of people wanted him because he's got like 38 points in 42 games. Like he's almost a point per game.
But Calgary is like the farmer who has to deal the ugly daughter. Okay? Take my daughter, half the pasture, half
Do it all.
half the cattle and everything. And then it's crazy because so God bless you, Montreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well done.
Well done.
Every Canadian team seems to be benefiting all around the nation except for our Calgary Flames. Edmonton, Heater, Vancouver, Cup favorite, Montreal. All they do is get first round picks.
Seriously.
Ottawa, no one cares and no one cares.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Listen,
Winnipeg, contender.
right now. That's the thing that I was kind of going. You got Edmonton on the heater. You got the Vancouver and Winnipeg shoring up their team. They're getting ready. They're not fooling around.
No, there's no tomfoolery.
Hot take is this is the year maybe a Canadian team actually wins the Cup. There's a good chance of it, Dimitri.
I got to be honest with you. A Toronto, Vancouver final would be bedlam. Bedlam.
Well, Canada wouldn't know what to do. Who do you cheer for in that set?
That's what I mean. It would be bedlam.
It would be crazy.
It's like the Americans would look at it as a car wreck. Slow down. What's going on over here? What is that?
Yeah, what?
It's gross. What happened?
Oh,
like, I don't care, but I can't take my eye off.
Honey, stop the car. Let me see.
Yeah. I mean, Canada would just shut down.
It would shut down. It would.
You know who'd suffer? Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan would have they'd be, like the kid. They'd get pulled in either direction in this.
Why is there no team in Alaska?
I don't know.
Or Northwest Territories. Like, why can't we have like a ringer, like Green Bay Packer-esque NHL team that's just subsidized by everyone else?
Logistics.
Logistics. You know what I mean?
There's no excuse NHL because, in all honesty, if you look at the KHL and some of the teams and where they're placed, it's literally an 8-hour flight for some games.
Yeah.
In Russia, within their own country, you have to fly 8 hours to go to a game.
And you know the other thing? You know how there's like a stereotype that hockey rinks are a barn?
Yeah.
How come no one designs a barn?
Couldn't agree more. Actually, they were talking about in Calgary when the first plans got approved, right? And then the second plans got disapproved or got negated on. The second plans that were being put together, it was a barn. They were doing the barn.
It makes sense to me.
Be cool. Hey, where are you going? The barn.
The barn.
Instead of the Saddle Dome.
Yeah.
Like the Saddle Dome, I get it. It kind of made sense at the time.
The Saddle Dome is actually pretty. They probably should have redone the Saddle Dome.
They just should have redid the Saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. In L.A., there was a firing. McClellan got fired. Rod Blake, GM and VP, said, hey, watch this hip check. Boom. Knocked them down. That one, you know how I am about firing coaches. Because I think NHL is so hard to coach. It's one of those things. But when you start the season on a heater and now you've dropped so many games and now you went from first to second to third and now you're just holding on to that first wild card, it's only a matter of time before you're kind of battling the Flames. I think this was actually a smart move, unfortunately. And I like the coach, Todd. I like Todd. I don't mind Todd.
Yeah, I don't mind him either, but he's not really a winner, is he?
He just can't seem to get over that one hump.
It's kind of like, what's his name? Paul Maurice.
Yeah.
Same kind of guy. But they're good coaches, but they've never, they just haven't.
Something's wrong.
Not enough oomph.
Really funny you bring up Maurice, because I was going to ask you a question. Who do you think, I mean, now we're a little bit past the halfway point, but, it's the All-Star Game is always that halfway point. Who has impressed you in the first half of the NHL season?
Are you talking team-wise?
Team-wise. Yeah, you can say player, too, if you want.
Team and player. Okay, well, look, player, I can tell you right now, it's Austin Matthews. Okay, like 40 goals at the half.
I'm sorry, Austin who?
Oh, you're right. You wouldn't know him. He's in the Toronto market.
Toronto.
That's right. It just doesn't get enough
press.
Oh,
the guy that scores the goals.
The mustache guy.
Gotcha.
So to me, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 40 goals at the half. Like I was just kind of going back and I'm like, has anyone done that in recent?
Well, it's actually later on, but the last time somebody scored 70 goals was in 1993.
Who, Solani?
McGillney.
Oh, McGillney. Okay, yeah. McGillney. So, but to get like in this NHL, like I don't think Ovechkin or Stamkos or any of those guys hit 40 by the All-Star break. So player wise, that's impressive to me.
Right.
Team wise, I got to tell you, it is Vancouver.
Yeah.
It is Vancouver. And they impressed me because if you actually go through the roster, and I could see why they fired McClellan and the LA Kings.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of staring at the Canadian version of you.
Sure, I can see what you're saying.
Right, to a degree. But Vancouver has impressed me because they've quietly made deals. A couple of years ago, remember we made fun of them for getting the first and getting it back. Like, okay, right. You in Montreal obviously know something we don't.
That's right, absolutely.
Like I'm just not going to question it. But they've made these quiet little moves, and it's all working. And look where they are now.
Well, last week I told you Boston needs some love because, I mean, they just keep winning and they don't stop winning. They're 1 point behind being number. But the team that actually impressed me, and Vancouver is by far the right choice here, but I went a little different. I said the Florida Panthers. Here's a team that last year went on a heater during the playoffs, go to the Stanley Cup, made a little bit of noise. They start the season not great, so a lot of people are like, it must have just been. No, this team is second in the East.
Yeah.
They're looking great. And you know what I like about them? They shored up all the little, maybe the shoelaces that were untied last year. They got the goaltending. They got a decent little defense core. And those forwards, buddy, when Sam Reinhart is second in the league with 37 or 38 goals next to your boy Austin, you gotta have a little respect. You still got the Bennett. He's a little quiet, but come playoff time, you know he's going to go around wrecking guys. And the Tkachuk, he's been quiet, not at the All-Star game. Little things like that. And Maurice is a great coach. This is the team that I think will make some headway again in the playoffs. And the second best home ice advantage. You got Vegas number 1, but South Florida isn't so bad either.
Interesting. You know what I like about Florida now that you mention it?
Sure.
It's a good pick, by the way. Great pick.
Hey, thanks.
Florida was the team for years where it felt like they made more moves than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, and there's 7 new players in Florida after the trade deadline. And there's 9 new players. And they were just, it was like a halfway house of NHL teams.
Absolutely.
It was crazy. But now you're right, they've got some, like that's, when you think of Sam Reinhart, at some point they just started to stick with people. It's like, well, here's Ekblad, and here's Barkov, and here's Reinhardt.
Exactly.
You know, Huberdeau before he came. Like, he was there for, like, probably a decade.
I don't actually blame him anymore for being upset.
Yeah, like, he was there for a day. But it's like, and we got this guy, and that guy, and all of a sudden it's like, Verhaeghe, and they're like...
You know what would be a fun little experiment? Sending Huberdeau back to Florida and just see what would happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Just to see.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's like 110 points again.
He would.
I 100% agree with you.
He would.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm starting to think that the points he scored, he actually didn't know he scored them. Like, he was probably skating the other way and it went off his butt.
Yeah. Buddy, did you see that hit last week from behind? Not only are you not scoring, now you're getting yourself kicked out of the game. If the coach isn't benching you and you're not scoring, now you're like, screw it. I'm just going to get kicked out of the game. I don't care.
I'd say, I don't know what to tell you there.
Hey, man, there's nothing to say.
Wow.
He's saying it for us. All right, real quick, I'm going to do a quick little rapid banter inside the NHL.
Really?
Watch this.
Okay.
Kucherov and McKinnon are both on pace for 140-plus points. Last time it was done was Mario and Jagger. Can they do it?
Yes.
Does a 9-game layoff for the Oilers hurt or help their current 16-game winning streak?
Oh, it hurts anyone's streak.
Can Austin Matthews be the first player to score 70 goals since McGillney in 93?
Has the opportunity, yes.
There it is. Rapid banter.
Wow.
In the NHL.
We did a banter within the banter.
A banter within the banter.
It's never been done before.
Never. But you know what has been done over and over again? It's the Sports Show Power Ranking.
Wow.
Halfway point.
Okay.
Here we go. At number 5, it's Colorado. Look, I was watching that All-Star facility. Makar and McKinnon. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, we all know it. It's just...
And by the way, the gig is over. We talk about things on this show, and a week later, it's on national TV. You don't think we know that you're listening to us? And
we know.
Now we know they're keeping us down.
Exactly. Can I also say one thing? They're teammates. It doesn't seem like they like each other. Or there's like... They don't know each other very well.
I feel like Makar's a little nerdy.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly feel like they were standing next to each other, and our girl, Tate McRae, was, like, in between them as their confidant, if you will.
Mitch and I would have handled that different.
Much differently. And I don't know. They just like, hey, man, oh, yeah, you're the guy in the back. I'm in the front. Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Come on, Kale.
They seemed awkward.
Yeah. Have a beer.
For two guys.
I know your hard seltzers taste good, but just have a beer.
Have a beer. They've won the Stanley Cup together, but it's like they've never met each other. I don't know. That's the way I feel with those two guys. At number 4, I put Florida there. Grimy, tough, ready to go. At number 3, it's Boston. Respect. I told you. They just keep on winning. At number 2, I gave it to Edmonton. With the adding of Perry and the 16-game win streak, you got to give them the love.
Smart.
And at number 1, look, you just got a little bit better, which is hard to believe. You picked up one Calgary guy in Zadorov, and now you picked up the Lindholm. Vancouver, number 1 at the halfway point. Boom! There it is.
Smart. Very smart.
One thing I wanted to bring up.
Sure.
You know me. I was perusing the nets.
He's a big peruser.
Our dream has come true. And what you just said is 100% true. We bring up things here on the sports show, sometimes jokes, And these jokes seem to come to fruition. Do you know who the name of, where is it? Peter Thiel is. Peter Thiel. I'll tell you who he is. He's a billionaire that's backing the idea of doing Olympics with steroids. Yes. Yes. This has been the talk over the last 3 days. Peter Thiel, you are my hero. You are my hero, sir. Why? Me and Dimitri brought this up. I know we did. I don't know where else I've seen it, but I know we did. And you're going to do something. I'm worried this will actually wreck the real Olympics. Because why do I care to see somebody lift 500 pounds when a guy on roids is going to lift 1,000 pounds?
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say.
It's legitimized the world's strongest man to be on primetime television.
That's it. I'm just saying. All right. Off to the NFL.
Okay.
The AFC and the NFC championship games were played last week, Dimitri. Let's start with Baltimore and Kansas City. Kansas City ends up winning. The Kansas City Taylor Swifts are off to Las Vegas to play in the Super Bowl next week. We'll have more coverage of that next week because it's the bye week, and we have a poker game to go to later, so we can't talk about it all day. Dimitri, give it to me nice. Give it to me rough. Can we all just say we like it all rough? What happened to Baltimore? The number 1 seed at home.
Okay.
And I think you all know where I'll go when I get my chance.
Okay. Listen to me right now. What happened?
Acknowledge me!
You want to know what happened? Lamar Jackson happened. Lamar Jackson happened. And you know what? You give it to him. Because you know what? I'm not giving flowers to you, Lamar. I'm giving the flowers. You see what I did there?
I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
Thank you
to
very
my
much.
boy Mitch. Listen, Josh Allen, last week he was on you. I told you had the ball and you did this and Lamar Jackson, you had the game. You all had the game.
Yes.
The game was tight. Don't think for 1 second that KC went in there and they just ran amok and oh my goodness, the experience of KC. No. There was a component of the experience of winners.
Yes.
And we'll get into the other side too. When you just have a pedigree of winning and say, hold on, hold tight, wait, whoa. You're at home.
Yeah.
You have the game won. You sit there and you roast Flowers for dropping the ball, which fine, should not have happened.
Agreed.
But you had a million opportunities for possession, for advantage, for scoring, for whatever. At that point, in the fourth quarter especially, you did nothing. You did nothing. And for all of you that want to sit there and say, well, Harbaugh changed the plays and he wasn't this. No. Because the difference between Mahomes and the difference between Purdy, because one of them is going to be a Super Bowl winner come next week, is that play call, non-play call, they figure it out on the field because they're just that damn smart. If you wanted to run, you could have.
Yeah.
If you wanted to throw, you could have. But no, you got scared. You didn't know what to do. You're not a killer. You are out. Here, I had you in the circle. You're good for regular season fantasy, but you ain't good anywhere else, honey sugar baby. You are out. Lamar Jackson lost that game for the Baltimore Ravens. Not Flowers, not Harbaugh, not Taylor Swift, not anything else, you guys. And you know who was there to clean up the mess? Were the Kansas City Chiefs, who just don't get phased until the last second. You know what it reminds me of? Kind of like how the New England Patriots were.
Oh, yeah.
Shocking, right? Enough. Like Lamar, Josh Allen, no kill, no thrill, all spill.
Dimitri, that's going to be on the reels this week.
Amy, you clip that.
Clip that. Can I just say one thing? You and me are buddies for years. Tonight, we're going to a poker tournament, and we're going to be sitting with our buddies. There's 100, it's sold out. Crazy thing that's going on. Capacity crowd. But what's one thing that friends do to other friends?
Make fun of them?
Make fun of them. They bait them. They get them to do what they want. Boxing. You're a big boxing guy.
Love it.
You want the guy to do what you know is uncomfortable to him. You bait him. You tell him, hey, come here. Come here. Oh, you're really good with the right hook? Show me your left one. Show me your left. Kansas City didn't do anything but walk into the game, put guys at the front of the box going, go ahead, Baltimore, number 1 rushing team in the NFL this year. Go ahead and try to run. Oh no, we better start passing to show them that we can pass. You morons got tricked by the oldest trick in the book. Run the ball, see how it goes. And I guarantee you, by the end of the game, it would have been fine. Maybe a couple of in the backfield, you would have got sacked or whatever. But when you get Lamar Jackson to roll back 82%, he passed for 82% of the percentage of the game. Are you kidding me? This guy's your MVP, both passing and running. That's what everyone's scared of him. And ladies and gentlemen, I've said it for years. I don't want to be right. I didn't want to be right. But Lamar got better at passing, yeah. But you don't just automatically become better at that. We're in the NFL now. Kansas City's ready. They were ready for you. They were laughing. They're like, these idiots are going to try to pass on us.
On the road.
On the road. Come on, you guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing? It was bad. He's just not at that capacity. And with all due respect, he may never be that passer he wants to be. But guess what? You're probably going to win MVP this year because you're that talented. Just do what comes natural, bro. Why do you guys, and this isn't just on him, Dimitri, it's other teams too, do the same thing sometimes. The number one defense against guys like Lamar, guys like Mahomes, is put him on the bench. Leave him there. Run the clock. We'll get to that in 1 second, Detroit. Run the clock. Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey did show up. They played a great game together.
What have we been saying week over week?
Yep, exactly. And I think the one thing that is different about this Kansas City team, we said it is their defense. It is this defense that if they're going to win the Super Bowl, which we'll tell you next week if they will or not, or maybe later on, Kansas City, that's the defense. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's go over to San Francisco and Detroit. You thought that was a little bit of a fiasco. I mean, how crazy could it be over in San Francisco? The number 1 seed taking on the number 3 seed. Detroit, I think there is not one person in this world that can say that they thought Detroit was going to come out blazing like they did.
No.
Huge game in the first half, and the only thing that killed them was halftime. It was the halftime killer. That's all I can say. Second half comes around. San Francisco says, hey, okay, guys, we gotta man up. We gotta make this a game. Our fans are here. Everyone's mad at us. It's the third quarter, about 7 or 8 minutes left. Detroit has moved the ball into field goal range. It's 4th and 2, and Coach Campbell just couldn't help himself. He decides to go for it. They don't get it. Momentum swift. Weirdly enough, I said swift. Momentum swing the other way. Boom! San Francisco just went on that run and ends up winning. Congratulations, San Francisco. They just held tight at the end and won.
So, to me, what a great game this was. And you know, some people, like, on the one end, no one saw the Lions blitzing like that. Like, what an even game. The only difference is instead of this being a one score, it was you get your half, you get your half, and whoever wins their respective half really wins. I was saying to the Swiss Greek, but when we were watching the game, I'm like, oh, guys, if you're a San Francisco 49ers fan,
right,
you just witnessed one of the greatest games probably of your life in the playoffs. It was outstanding. Coaching mistake, and guess what? That was the difference.
Yes, 100%.
That was, and you know, for the people say, well, that's what got him there. Yeah, that's what got him there. But in different circumstances, you guys. Yeah, like, I don't want to hear that argument where you say, well, Campbell, like, always goes on it. No, he doesn't. He would go on it when he needed to take a chance if it's a one-score game, if you know, they're trying to play position. But I don't care who you are. Like, you just, like, sometimes just take the points. Like, yeah, sometimes, hey, compound interest isn't fun, but it works.
Beautifully said.
Okay?
Beautifully said.
But it works. And the thing is Detroit, I don't know if Lamar Jackson just flew in and started like, why'd you stop running?
Buddy, 2,000-yard rushers, which I didn't know of until the game. I'm not going to lie to you. We never said we're stat guys. But you got 2,000-yard rushers, and you guys in the first half were running. They couldn't stop them.
They could not stop them.
Right.
Gibbs, like, they could not, like, they go here, they just could not stop them. And then all of a sudden, you got Wobbles McGillicuddy throwing the ball. What? Hold on, guy. Like, and it's not working. So Why would you not, in the fourth quarter especially, third quarter, okay, we're losing momentum.
Yeah.
Call timeout. I don't care what you do.
Exactly.
Start running the ball, you guys. You're still in 2 possessions minimum.
Exactly.
Like, I couldn't see it over here. But this, again, I love the NFL because it's a league that regulates itself. And I know we got to jump off here soon. But it's a league that regulates itself. The 2 best teams are in the final. They're in the Super Bowl. It's going to be tight. I truly believe it's a coin flip. It could be super close. It could be a blowout. But regardless of the end result, it's a coin flip. The thing is the 49ers are so well coached. They're so well poised. And if none of you are just going to give this Brock Purdy guy credit anymore,
right? Just
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what more does this guy got to do? Because you want to know what I saw? I saw what you all think Purdy is, Lamar do.
Right.
And I saw Purdy do what Lamar should have been doing.
That's right.
What Mahomes does. So you think this guy can't scramble? What, he's just little geeky little schoolboy sitting on the sideline?
These guys are pro athletes, man.
Guys, this 49ers team they decimated them. Use the boxing analogy. You just sat there.
Yeah.
Taking the hits. Oh, you're tired now? Now let's beat you up.
Absolutely. That 3-possession game is the game changer. You kick that field goal, you get it in. That's 3 times San Francisco, no matter how they score, has to score 3. They got to score 2 touchdowns and get a field goal just to tie you. Just to tie. Listen, I'm all about have some fun, take some risk, but be smart too. Be smart. You don't go to the ocean that you know is infested with white and go, I'll go in there. It's not a big deal. Big signs in the middle of the on the beach saying, please go with care. If you want to be that guy and get your arm chopped off, guess what, Dan Campbell? I can't feel sorry for you.
We can't feel sorry for you.
Can't feel sorry for you.
Nope.
Dimitri, real quick, and we'll talk about it more next week, but who do you got? Kansas City right now is the dog. San Francisco favored by 2.5. 47.5 is the over.
I get it. I get it. You know, I've been thinking about it going back and forth. I actually don't know it's a coin flip. I'll tell you where I'm leaning.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that San Francisco is playing better. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. A little bit. I think they got a better offense. I think KC actually has a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
But KC has been winning on the road with this momentum, steady climb. And to me, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's a little scary. This is kind of a home game for San Fran because it's in Vegas, so you'd imagine there's going to be a little bit more. But Kansas City fan travels a lot, so let's call it even. Coaching on both sides, even. Quarterback, you got to give it to Mahomes over Mr. Irrelevant, but Mr. Irrelevant's not a slouch. By the way, this is why you have to give the MVP at the end. At the very end, not regular season. Why is Lamar going to get the trophy over Mr. Irrelevant now? Just saying, Brock deserves the MVP no matter how I look at it.
I just don't understand that if you win a Super Bowl,
right,
and it's really because of you, let's say like Brock
right,
Purdy,
exactly.
Would he not be the most valuable player?
Or even a McCaffrey, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
But
I think it's McCaffrey this year. But but can you at least make the final, kinda
something?
Unless you do something so astoundingly amazing.
Agreed.
Where it's like, okay, you play for the Carolina Panthers, but you rushed for 2,600 yards.
Right.
I can MVP you.
That's an MVP caliber season.
I can MVP you.
Right.
But if you're like, guys, I had a hell of a season in the regular season, choked in the playoffs.
Horribly choked.
And the guy that I'm running with actually won the Super Bowl.
Right.
I think that guy gets it.
I think he does too. I agree.
What do we know?
You know what I do know? We're off the rapid banter. Formula One legend Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes to roll with Ferrari. Smart pass or stay in your lane?
Oh, stay in your lane.
Sean Monahan is a big name in the trade talks. Should Montreal keep him or trade him? Now, this I made obviously after the cake, so, whatever. Phil Kessel still has not signed anywhere. Should any team take a chance?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Taylor Swift is backing Biden in 2024. What's more realistic, Biden to win 2024 or Kansas City to win the Super Bowl?
Kansas City to win the Super Bowl.
Head coach of the Dallas Mavericks says Luka is better than Dirk. Foul, not foul.
Win one.
If Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, is he now legit a GOAT, or does he have to still put on a show or show me the money?
He'll be at the 80-yard line, but he's not in the end zone yet.
Who has more pressure to win this year? Head coach San Francisco Shanahan or Mahomes to keep that train moving?
Shanahan.
Last one. If Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, wins the Super Bowl, is his story better than Kurt Warner?
The story is no one has a better story than Cody Rhodes.
Last one. Good one. Better run in the past few years, Roman Reigns or Mahomes?
Acknowledge him.
Last one. This week, Coach Reed said to people that he knew Taylor Swift before Travis did. Did Travis break the cardinal rule of dibs?
The one-up guy.
There it is. Banter.
Yeah, well, and you were before. I just didn't want her, man.
Whatever, man. You said you didn't care.
You know I'm the coach, right? Can't have that. You saw what happened to Meyer.
Whatever, man. I don't care. Whatever. This past week, let's go to Maga Malaka. This past week, some reports came out and some stats on what was streamed the most. Here we go. Maga Malaka, the #1 streaming shows.
Okay.
All right. Some of these shows, never even heard of them.
Gotcha.
Just let it FYI.
Griselda's probably on there.
Which one?
Griselda? Is that on there?
No. By the way, I was watching that yesterday.
Yeah.
Great. No.
It is. Oh, okay.
But this is streaming these are TV shows.
Oh, streaming.
So, for example, Suits is #1.
Yeah, Maga.
57.5 billion people streamed.
That's a lot of productivity.
Or it was streamed 57.5 times. Okay. Bluey, Maga or Malaka?
Is that the kids show?
Yeah, 43.9 billion streams.
Yeah, Malaka, because I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, neither am I. And it's funny because we have little kids. Why are they?
Yeah, they just passed that area.
Here's this one. Coco Melon.
Oh, Maga. Yeah, even I got into those.
Yeah, 36.3 billion streams.
Coco Melon.
Grey's Anatomy.
Listen.
Maga or Malaka?
Listen. I have an affinity for Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Buddy, you can't self-gloss yourself.
Okay.
That doesn't work that way.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone knows I can, but Grey's Anatomy never got into the show. But you, Dempsey. Or us.
Or what's it? McSteamy? Was he McSteamy or something? McDreamy? McDreamy. That's so funny. Grey's Anatomy.
And I'm McDreamy.
Name of the pod.
No, I can't because you're McMitch.
It doesn't matter. Gilmore Girls. 25.2 billion streams.
You know what? I'm gonna go Maga on that one.
Really?
Well,
have you watched it? I don't even know. Where is Gilmore a place or is that a girl's name?
Just enough snapshots to keep me.
I gotcha. Okay. It's that kind.
It's that. Well,
really?
Back in the day, that's all you really had on cable.
Get out.
Go back.
I have no idea what that show is.
Just put yourself back into 18-year-old Mitch.
How about this one? I was actually surprised. Heartland, 22.8 billion streams.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go Maga because it's local.
It's local, I know, right? But I've never pulled it up. I think Bret Hart was on this show.
He was on that one.
He was on that one.
Yeah.
Well, then I Maga it too. Supernatural, 22.8 billion.
Malaka,
streams.
never got into it, didn't want it.
Is that a Superman thing?
No. I think it's, I get scared at night.
Oh, it's I think so. A horror?
I think so.
All right, second last one.
Horror film.
Friends, 25 billion.
It's that low. I would have thought it'd be more because it's still culty.
So.
Okay. Friends was funny. I got to go Maga.
I like some, not all. You know what I really like? Ross at the end was really funny. I have to give it to him.
I always liked Ross, actually.
I didn't mind him either.
The episode with the leather pants?
That was good.
Classic.
Best line of all time is Joey. Chandler goes to Joey. Joey, you've had a lot of sex. Today, some, not a lot.
Joey Tribbiani.
That's it.
Oh, what a name.
All right, last one. This one's right in the middle of the pack. 27.8 billion streams. The Big Bang Theory.
So I have not watched I'm that guy that just it's on and I watch 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, but I'll never invest in the show.
I'm just going to say
But
one
I'm going to
thing.
say Maga about it.
Penny, I know what you're up to, Penny.
Now imagine.
That's winning the lottery.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
So this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So take Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Add more girls.
Okay.
Call them Gilmore.
That's what it is?
Go back 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And,
All I'm going to say is this. Gilmore Girls, you're going to be the #1 streaming thing. Let me get my hands on this.
It was One Tree Hill with the talent. That's all I'm saying.
That's it, eh?
That's it.
I'm impressed.
Where's Beverly Hills 90210?
0. You know which one I didn't bring up?
What about Seinfeld?
NCS. Nope, nowhere close. 39.4 billion streams. Third on the list was NCIS.
Suits is that high?
Crushed everyone. Not even close.
Like, no Game of Thrones, no...
Suits number 1 at 57.5. Bluey, 43.9. And then CSI. And by the way, I thought Bluey was something else.
No, that's Mitch's OnlyFans handle.
I honestly thought Bluey was something else. And then NCIS at 39. So, yeah, they got a 14 billion stream on their second place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No wonder we still haven't gone back to the moon. Or did we even go at all?
What? Wait for the summer.
What?
It's the Peruse podcast.
The Peruse Cast coming to you this summer 2024. Life is if you want to be part of the GWO. McGuireShow.com. Get there. That's the search for our merch, baby. Look, I'm gorilla chested. That's how I feel about it. Episode 292 at Sports Show Podcast on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on all the socials, on the internet, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. Ready? Hey, what do you want? You want to download? Stream this, you kick us off. Episode 292. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker. We got to hit the showers.
Oh, we're so done.
So done.
But it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It felt great.
That's right.
Think you're better than us.
I just need ropes like the Warrior. Now I just... Nightmares are the best part of my day. Buddy, he was... Have you seen... You gotta watch... Dude, you gotta watch a compilation clip of the Warrior. Yeah. He's out of control.
I love it.
Yeah, he does. Nightmares are the best part of my day.
For a guy that ran into the ring, did 2 moves, 1 and left, and then you get him on a promo, and he's so it's all about philosophy. When the moon is directly 47 degrees away from, what are you saying?
Apparently, WrestleMania 6, Hogan was saying he was already gassed 5 minutes into the match, and it's the main event. He goes, "We need to go home."
I heard this.
Yeah, he's like, no.
No one told you to run. No one told you to do 7 laps around the ring. No. You're gonna man up. We're putting on a show.
Mitch, we need to have a ghetto blaster where we at the poker tournament tonight, where we go out, right out of nowhere, just play the music, and we just run.
Yeah, I agree.
Run.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
I like it, John. Well, we're not leaving that poker tournament.
We're not leaving.
We're staying.
W was saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.
Locked in.